Kristina, vocalist, front person, and harmonica player for Zepparella, and welcome to the Zepparella Learning Channel.
If it keeps on raining, love is gonna break.
This is my second video in a three-part series of videos that is kind of unpacking everything vocal. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to learn a song. And we're going to be talking about getting the song, making sure your lyrics are correct, making sure your melody is correct, making sure you're hearing it accurately, singing it accurately, learning it accurately, and then how to make memorization happen, how to make sure that you feel ready to actually put this in front of people and sing it. Let's get started. So you have the song that you need to learn. Obviously it's a cover, it's not your own song. And you're in the process of beginning learning. It might seem like it's kind of a no-brainer, you just listen and sing it. There's some little tricks in there, and I want to unpack that a little bit. First of all, when you get the song and you start learning it, make sure your lyrics are correct. We all have the jokes about how lyrics sometimes sound differently than they are, and we've been singing the wrong lyrics for years. Especially for my chair in Zeppelin, it's really important for me to make sure that my lyrics are correct. And his lyrics are so poetic and beautiful and so much imagery and metaphor that sometimes it's hard to hear exactly what he's saying. So I try to cross-reference many different websites when I have a lyric that I'm not sure about. I download the lyrics entirely so I can have them for myself, but I cross-reference them with 3 or 4 different sites. And if there's discrepancies, or even if there's not discrepancies, then I always go to watch him live. And even though Plant's an amazing improviser and he sings differently sometimes live, you can get the basics of the truth of the lyrics by watching him live. Between all of those different sources, you should be able to make sure that your lyrics are accurate. Now we're on to learning the melody of the song. And it's fun to drive around in your car and sing along with the song or sing it in the shower. But if you're going to perform it live, you have to make sure all those little points are accurate. And there's a lot more opportunities to be inaccurate in melody than you might think. So what I think is very important to do, what for me is very important to do, is bring my trusted friend again, which I've talked about in other videos, which is a piano. There's a piano app you can use if you don't have an actual piano. And begin to listen to the song and actually tap the melody out. Hear it and tap it out and sing it along with where you're tapping it on the piano. And then you can tune your voice to that note, and then you can also hear, oh gosh, I was moving up a step there when he's actually staying on the same note. And you find those little crevices of areas that you may have missed if you really take the microscope on it and that's what this does, by tapping out the melody. So I highly recommend doing that. One last thing, make sure you tap out the melody first. I have learned a melody wrong so many times and then gone to tap it out 2 weeks later and found that it was really hard to unlearn something that I thought I had right. Tap it out first, and then it'll eliminate that problem. Now we're going to talk about actually singing the song, making it your own. It's really challenging when singing other people's music to make it your own. And of course I run into that with Led Zeppelin, but I run into it in any genre that I sing. And the important thing is to make sure your melody and everything is sitting very comfortably with you. And then I have another trusted friend that I use, and that is a recording app to record myself. There are wonderful recording apps that are free that you can download to your phone, and all you do is you press record while you are singing with the live MP3 that's playing, whether it's playing on your iPad or wherever you have it playing. You're singing along with that, and you're recording yourself while singing along with it. So this is after you've tapped out the melody. Now you're singing along with the recording itself, trying to find how your voice fits into the song in an authentic way. It's authentically you. You're recording yourself. Then, believe me, recording yourself is so difficult, and you're in great company when you record yourself, because all of us feel that way. There is hardly anyone I've ever talked to who's a serious musician who doesn't talk about, oh yeah, I had to listen to myself on that, but they also talk about it's why they are where they are, because they have learned so much by facing that pain of hearing yourself, hearing your mistakes, hearing whatever you don't like, and then you have the opportunity to correct it, and all of a sudden you like it more. So I highly recommend facing that gargoyle, recording yourself, and finding the mistakes there. The next thing I do when I'm learning a song is I go to YouTube I find the song, a karaoke version of the song, and I sing along with the karaoke version of the song while recording myself. When that happens, you don't have the crutch of singing along with the artist, so even more mistakes that you're potentially going to make are going to come out because you don't have that crutch. Whether you can't remember how that melody goes, or does it go to this verse here, and I recommend not watching the lyrics while you do it, so you can begin the memorization process. Record yourself, sing along with karaoke. That's essentially going out there without a net, and that'll uncover what else you need to work on. Lastly, when you're preparing for performance, I prepare through visualization. I know the old joke is you sort of stand in front of the mirror and posture, and this is what I'm going to look like. I don't recommend that. I recommend facing a wall or facing a window, put on the karaoke track on YouTube, visualize yourself on a stage with hundreds, thousands of people, or wherever you're going to be performing. Maybe it's a dinner club with 50 people. Visualize yourself there. Sing the song in that visualized place. Keep yourself there. Your brain goes somewhere else when you're in performance than when you're in practice. And that's something that a lot of people don't learn until they start performing. But you really get a head start on it if you start visualizing yourself in performance before you're actually performing. So do that with the karaoke machine on while you're recording yourself. Visualize yourself in front of that audience. You'll see where your holes are. You'll see where you slip. But I highly recommend doing that. Lastly, and maybe the kernel of it all, is that you're a storyteller. So you're singing someone else's words. So how do you make them authentic to you so that you can communicate the story of this song to people in a way that resonates with them? Because in the end, this is all about connecting with people, connecting with your audience, emotionally moving your audience with the story that you're telling. And when you're singing someone else's words, that can be very challenging. So I try to find the essence of the emotion of the story as it affects my life. If it's a love song or a sad song, I try to apply that to where I felt that moment or that incident in my life. In terms of Zeppelin, because this is a Zeppelin learning channel, his lyrics are so metaphorical and poetic that there's a lot of room to breathe there. So sometimes I will actually look up the deeper meaning of some of these songs. There's plenty of resources for that. People who have talked about, or even Plant and Page have talked about, maybe at times, what songs are about. But I look for resources for what the songs are about. Then I try to find that story where that would apply in my life, something like that, and connect there and bring the story from that place so that my words are connected to my emotional experience of whatever that song is talking about. And if I can't say that enough, I mean, that's why we're here. We're storytellers and we're trying to connect. So do whatever you can to find how that song, how you can express what the song is about from your life experience. Those are my thoughts on how to learn a song. And just a brief recap, you make sure your lyrics are correct. You make sure your melody is correct by tapping it out on the piano. You sing along with the recording itself while recording yourself. You sing along with the karaoke version of the song while recording yourself. And find what that song means. And find what it means to you in your life and how you can authentically and honestly communicate that to a crowd. And visualize yourself singing it in front of people. Keep your mind on the audience while you're practicing, and imagine yourself on that stage knocking them dead. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.